Yo, what up, everybody? You already know Sly K Loco with another episode of CannaConvos. Finally getting it figured out on StreamYard with Uncle Rick right here, guys. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Oh, hey, my pleasure, my friend. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. So, you were just on Chad Westport's podcast.
That's right. Yeah. We've got this promotion coming up next month, and and Chad is going to be. We're calling it the 60 and 60. It's a seed giveaway promotion. We're going to be giving away 60 seed packs from 60 separate individual seed breeders in 60 minutes. And
Wow.
yeah. So I'm gonna have some fun with that, and Chad is going to be the co-host, and so he invited us over to do a little bit of cross promotion, and yeah, so it was fun.
Sick. That is going to be cool. When is that happening?
That is Saturday, Saturday, August the 17th.
The 17th. All right. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for there. All my followers and everybody on there, this is uploaded to YouTube. So anybody who's watching, make sure to go on there and show Uncle Rick, Chad Westport, Emily, Anything Grows, all you guys. Spartan in there too?
Yes, absolutely. Spartan and Chad will be. They'll be. How do I say it? They'll be narrating the giveaways, the particular seed pack, and what the parentage is, and all that kind of stuff. Little E, but it'll be at the controls. With the the giveaway, the StreamYard giveaway tool. Yeah, and yeah, we'll all have our jobs that day, but a lot of moving parts, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, that's sick, man. Everybody, make sure to go in there, go check it out. Make sure to go try to win some of these genetics that I'm assuming are going to be bomb genetics. If they're coming from you guys, they're going to be some good genetics.
Yeah, well, they're coming from our community, and I'm proud and honored to be a member of this community, and we got some really cool stuff going on
we do, man. We have a lot of people out there that are breeding, and they're making such cool genetics out there. It is amazing how many, because like if you really think about it, there's people all over the country that are just making new genetics left and right that we don't know of. Like some people aren't really big in the industry, so they're not getting their genetics passed around. But I bet you they got fire, man. Like
yeah, for sure. And every time somebody, I mean, there's, and I'm not a breeder. I don't know if I'll ever give it a run, maybe, but there are people that are dedicated breeders, and then there are people that are called pollen chuckers. But you know what? Everybody that does
pollen
this,
chucker.
well,
I
don't. Well, I don't know if it's derogatory. Like it's like, but I'm thinking that every time somebody considered a breeding project, they had a purpose. There was a reason why they thought, hey, if I cross this plant with this one, I wonder, and and I think it's just fascinating, exciting, and
I think it's fascinating too. One thing, because I've never bred myself either, but I wanted to get into it down the road. There's been some people who are like, "Hey, you'd be good at breeding," because I do have a very good palate, and so I go for like. Nowadays, I like the fruity and a little bit of the skunky, a little bit of the the bad breath one, kind of almost is how I describe it. But I've always wondered, if you're breeding, can you come up with a strain that tastes gross or like something that doesn't work? What would be that? I've always thought that. People out there, if you're a breeder, make sure to leave in the comments and let us know if you have bred anything that you just don't like and that that other people wouldn't like either. All right, leave that in the comments if you want to know about that one. So
Go ahead.
We're gonna get a little bit into your story and everything about you. For those who don't know, this is Uncle Rick. He is a old school grower. I say one of the growers, the OGs. And he's been on here doing his thing for a while now. He's got a podcast called Let's Be Buds out there with everybody that we just that we just brought up. Emily, Spartan, little L, is it?
Lily Bud. Yep.
Little Lee Bud. He's in the backgrounds and all that. So make sure to go show them some love. Go check out their podcast so you can get some more knowledge. But I wanted to ask you, how did you come up with your name? This is one question that I always ask everybody on the CannaConvos, and I know it's probably pretty easy name, but how did that come along?
Hmm. Well, thank you for asking. Boy, oh boy, you're putting me on the spot here, my friend.
That's what it's about, baby.
Uh, I'm thinking that I probably, well, I really, I kind of stumbled across this community not that very long ago. I was
Hold
old
on one
school,
second.
like you said. A stealth grower. I want to keep a low profile. Didn't even realize this whole community existed, especially and the podcasting world, but more specifically the live podcasting.
Ah,
I discovered that and I thought, whoa, this is like I just couldn't. I don't know why it just went right over my head
blew
how
your
this.
mind.
Yeah, yeah, and I wanted to become a bigger part of it,
Nice.
and in doing that, I wanted to. Well, there was a few things I wanted to. Out of gratitude for everything that cannabis has given me, I wanted to give back, and so a couple of ways was I wanted to see if we could do something in the way of forming a charity that we
Okay.
could give back through.
Okay.
I also wanted to. There was one more thought before I got to my main point, but who knows? It may come back.
Yeah.
But probably I wanted to do do something to help bring the community together. So maybe buds, like
Yeah.
friends.
That's like
And
homies.
then of course I had the wink wink bud, get it, buds,
Yeah.
wink wink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
The play on words.
that's probably where it came from. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Good, man. I like that. That's a good story. How long have you been growing for?
Oh my goodness. Go back. I got the bug in 1985.
Ooh, baby. That's
Yep.
when I was born. Holy moly.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
So you were growing back when I was just been like sperm between my daddy's balls.
Yep. Yeah. I just, I, and it's, I'm almost embarrassed when I think back. Uh, I was born and raised in the Vancouver area.
Okay.
And, but I kind of lived on the outskirts of Vancouver at that time.
Mm.
Wonder where the fuck I was going with on that one. Oh, you asked
But how
about
you
when.
when
Oh,
you
yeah.
started
Okay.
growing?
Okay. Thank you. So, when I decided, first of all, what I decided was, hey, how come I'm paying for my pot? Why don't I, instead of buying an ounce, why don't I buy 4 ounces and then I'll sell the other three and I'll get mine for free, or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. The normal thing that we all go through, that we all start when we're start
So I,
selling weed, because you sell weed so that you can stay high, right?
well, exact. So, anyways, I went to my dealer and I said I want to get in the business, and he got all excited oh, you want, oh, fantastic, and I thought, fuck, I just want to sell a little pot, but he wasn't talking about selling pot. He was talking about growing it, and
Oh.
and yeah, and I swear to God, 1985, I did not know that it was being grown in people's basements. I, I,
Where
I
did you
thought
think
it,
it came from?
well,
Outdoor?
Mexico,
Oh,
Colombia,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thailand,
Yeah, so you believed all the hype and everything that they said, right? Well, because it did come from Mexico and Thailand and all that from back in the day. But
yeah, but I swear I did not know that people were growing it in their fucking basement. And so he took me to a grow, and well, he blindfolded me to protect the whatever,
yeah,
and
because that's what they had to do back in the day, man. They had to keep that shit really on tight, not let anybody know.
yeah. So when I opened my eyes inside that room, well, that was it. I was hooked. There was no turning me back. I got the bug instantly, and yeah, yeah, it's been a
Do you know
great
what?
ride ever
Do you know
since.
what strain they were growing then?
No, and quite honestly, yeah, that I never really knew what, you just, it's time to get another grow going and you order the clone. The clones normally, they didn't even come with a name. They just,
Oh, it
no,
was just weed.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
good shit too. Um,
Well,
that's
those were
crazy,
the
man.
days. Yeah, I'm sorry, but those were the days when, yeah, BC Bud was like worldwide, and it was selling like for 3,600 a pound here in Canada, and if you could get it to New York, it was like 7,500.
Yeah, yeah. I remember those days. Back in those days, well, when I was coming up, it wasn't 85, it was about 90s, 2000s. There's a SPM song, which SPM stands for South Park Mexican. He's this rapper that I always grew up on and everything. Well, he has a song where he says in the song that sells a half a OZ for 225. Like, damn, for a half, that's for what, 450 for a fucking ounce? Oh my god. That was
Yeah.
insane. I was like, yo, and those prices were crazy back in those days, but it's because they had to do a lot of shit to get to it, right?
But you know something, well, yeah, yeah, but you know something now, before my growing days, I go back to, like, well, I was smoking for like 20 some odd years before that.
Uh-huh.
And I do remember, you know, well, they weren't ounces. I think they were called lids. And I'm not
Lids.
sure
Yeah.
a lid, was it two fingers or three? I forget.
Lid,
You
a
didn't
lid
mean
was
it.
4 fingers. I remember an ounce was 4 fingers, half ounce was 2 fingers, and a 20 or yeah, 20 was 1 finger or 2 fingers. I can't remember that, but
But I do remember that on the average, and I can't remember the year, it was like $20 an ounce per pot,
yeah.
and it would get you, like, I mean, well, a lot of it's still good old brickweed, but still, I mean, it was a high school high. It was great. But I do remember one time this pot came through, and it was I remember it was from Sumatra. I don't recall the name, but it was from Sumatra. I distinctly remember that. And they wanted where we were normally paying $20, they wanted 40. And so my buddy is telling me about this. And I said, well, there's no fucking way I'm going to be paying $40 an ounce. Give me a break. And so, anyways, he said, "Well, it's your choice. I mean, this stuff's not going to be around forever." And I said, "Okay, what?" So we smoked one. Well, I tell you, I never got so fucking high and freaked out of my life.
Oh, really? You had a
And
panic attack?
oh yeah, my first official panic attack. Yeah, and my buddy, I love him, but he likes to fuck with my head, and he took me on a. I'm not going to even try to relate the story, but he really got me
Yeah.
good.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
but I kind of enjoy that kind of thing. And so, of course, then it was, oh God, hey, I want one. I want one. Well, I'm sorry. What did I tell you? It ain't going to be around for everybody. And it was gone. So snooze, you
Yeah.
lose.
I remember back in my days, we were back in my 20 years ago or something. We had some of the, I think it was Bellingham weed. Some of the when the green bud started coming around. This is when commerce was still around. So, or pretendica is what we used to call it too, because it'd be pretend to be indica, right? Like it still had seeds and everything like that. Well, my brother brings it around, and we take a couple knife hits of this bud, and oh my god, Uncle Rick, it was the best tasting weed. But I got so fucking high that I literally almost forgot my name. Like I
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
blazed, and sure enough, when that good shit comes around, you ain't gonna find it again. Like
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
gone, and all you have is the memories for the rest of the time. Is just that
Yeah.
memory of that fucking bud that you're trying to get to again, and you never get it again.
So, okay. Well, I'll tell you, my buddy, or the guy that loved to freak me out. I'm not going to relate that story because it was almost one of those you had to be there.
Okay.
But, but I got a even better story. This one, hopefully, we can all relate to. So, my another buddy and I, we're going to a concert. Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Okay.
Uh, uh, I can't even. oh God, what years would we be? Late 70s, 80, early 80s, I guess. I forget. I forget when.
Okay.
And anyways, the concert was at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, and we got to the concert. We got parked. I was driving. We got parked, and I said, "Okay, let's go." And well, we got high before, and then I said, "Okay, let's go." So uh, my buddy said, "I'm not feeling well. I'm gonna just hang for a minute." I said, "Okay." So he had his ticket. I got mine. So I took off. I went into the show, and found my seat, and I totally forgot about my buddy. Totally fucking forgot I totally forgot. And it was about halfway through the concert, and I'm sitting there and I'm having a great time. And suddenly I look over, here's my fucking buddy sitting beside me. Scared the shit out of me. So, what
Oh
happened to
shit!
you?
Where's the
Yeah,
Leo at?
this was like, like fuck an hour into the concert. And where were you? Like, what's going on? He said, well, I guess what happened, he got out of the vehicle and he passed out. He fainted. He landed on the ground. He was laying there, and then eventually he opened his eyes, and he saw some feet coming towards him, and he got, and it was the cops too. So he
Oh
got up,
shit!
and then he found his way into the concert, and sat down beside me, scared the shit out of me. But that was Sumatran weed, man. That was the best.
That was some good shit right there. You'll remember that for the rest of your life, huh?
Oh. That was
So my
fun.
next question: do you grow inside? Are you doing any indoor? You are doing
Yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah, I do.
What medium do you use?
Well, I've over the years I've used just about everything imaginable. Currently, I my last run I was using cocoa.
Okay.
Um, this year this run I'm going to go a little bit more organic, and
Go back to
so I'm still
soil.
yeah,
Soil
yeah.
organic. Okay. Okay. For those who don't know, you could use a cocoa blend, or you could just go straight cocoa. The only thing is with cocoa, and like it has a lot of its good properties to where it's bug resistant, and the bugs don't like it, which is very nice to use cocoa, but it doesn't have a very good water retention. So be ready for that, guys out there, because if you're hand watering, you're going to be in there a lot more versus soil. Soil, you could, if you got a good soil going on that holds a lot of water, you could water one day, leave it, and then come back the next day and the water again. So, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
so what kind of organic are you gonna go? Like, are you using Gaia Greens or any kind of feed like that?
So right now, I just mixed up my own batch of
Oh,
because I'm just getting it started. Yeah, so nothing exotic. Just uh, I do put some cocoa in there,
okay.
and then I just mixed like potting soil I get from the nursery,
Uh-huh.
um, and I'd like to put some worm castings in there, and
Worm casting is the black gold, as they say, right?
mm, well, yes, but you pay for it like gold as well. My
That's
goodness.
why, man. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's actually I saw Marina High Tide. She's on here and she actually bought one of the worm she's on Instagram, but she bought one of the worm enclosement, or what is
A
it called?
bin.
Yeah, bin or something that catches all the worm castings and then you can just slide it
Ah.
out. Yeah, so you get your
Mm.
own worm castings. I was looking at that and I was like, wow, that is very smart. I think I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah, it would pay for itself pretty quick, I would think.
I would
Yeah.
imagine, right? Except you got to buy worms. You got to keep the worms alive. I don't know if you got to keep adding worms to it, or if the worms just keep reproducing in there.
Yeah, I think they do multiply. Yeah, I think they do.
Mm, that would be
Yeah.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
and you said what you were just going to go the organic route. So, what feed are you using right now, if any?
Okay, so right now I'm just in the process. I got a few projects going on. You asked about indoor, but I'm also
Yeah.
outdoor. So
Okay.
so right now, quite frankly, let me tell you exactly where I am right now. So I popped 10 original haze, which is a very fast growing, but a long flowering. And so, what I'm hoping to do is do a sea of green with them. Like in
Okay.
my in my 5x5 tent, I'm
Okay.
anticipating putting anywhere from 25 to 50 little clones. Yeah, yeah, and just
Ah,
grow them one because it's like a between 11 and 16 flowering 11 16 week flowering plant, and if you under normal circumstance you can't grow this in indoors. It just grows too fast, too tall.
grows too
Um,
tall.
yeah, so that's my plan. And then I'm just gonna cut the clones, put them in the dirt for maybe 2 days, and then flip them to flower, and then just let them go.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
dang.
they'll only be like this tall when they go into flower, but they'll be like about every 6 inches. So just
Yeah. So
all
you'll have like what? How many plants did you say you probably have in there?
somewhere. I haven't figured it all out. I haven't done the math. Somewhere between 25 and 50. I'd love to get 50 in there, and
Yeah,
so
I've never
yeah.
heard of that. Well, yeah, no, I've
And
never heard of. I've seen some people do like 3 gallon pots, and then they'll have their plant growing in there, and they'll have like about 50 of them in there to have that sea of green. Well, I mean, it's a sea of buds after it's all flowering, right? And wouldn't imagine you would need any trellising with that, would you?
I would think not. I would think not. It would be almost impossible to install a trellis. But what was the other thing I wanted to mention? That this style of
Growing.
growing
Hmm.
is a common practice in Holland, in the Netherlands. It's the
Really?
only way that well, not only for cannabis, but other like the flowers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is that? Do you think that's because of all the regulations and the how everything's illegal? I know in Holland, I don't
Well,
think it's illegal, is it?
Um, ironically, to sell it in a coffee shop is legal. To cultivate it, it's illegal. Um,
So they're
that's a
doing
long.
that shit where they're like, it's legal, but it's not legal for you.
So yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. In North America or most parts of the world, everybody has focused on plant count. Plant count. That's it's all about fucking plant count. And as long as we can keep the plant count, and it really like when it comes to efficiency in growing, the sea of green method is heads and shoulders above any other type of method. The quickest, most productive method is sea of green.
Hmm.
And so
Okay.
yeah, so that's so they don't because I guess because it's illegal in the Netherlands, they don't have a plant count, do they?
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I see. I see. Huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting to be able to like take what other people are doing around the world and apply it to what we have here. Even though, what state are you in?
I'm in Canada actually. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
you're in
just
Canada.
above
Okay.
you in
All right.
BC.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, I thought you were in Oregon for some reason, but in like Oregon and here in Washington, we can only have in Washington we can have 15 plants for medical. Um, in Oregon, I don't know how many you can have there, but what I do know is over there they say that you can only have a couple ounces. But when you're producing, like I do in my plants, I grow one big fucking plant, so I'll get at least uh 6, sometimes 9 ounces off of one plant, right? And so if I was in Oregon, I would have to give away some of that weed or get rid of it because I could only have this many ounces, which to me does not make sense. All right. Like if you have to know how this plant is going to be able to grow and the capabilities of this plant before you could sit there and say you can only have an ounce. Like this is crazy. To me, it just doesn't make sense.
By the way, I apologize. I didn't open, and I don't even know if I'm going to be. Whoa, whoa! Did I lose you? Oh no, you're still there.
Oh,
Um, I haven't been. I haven't had my chat open, and I don't even know if I'm capable of
Oh yeah, no,
even
we're not live
finding.
right now because the
Oh, oh,
yeah, no, YouTube doesn't even let me go live anymore, so I don't even know. And Instagram has been stopping me from going live too. That's why, if you, for those who don't know, I made a post a couple of days ago where I was about to say that I was going to get out of the business because it's just frustrating. And I woke up to where it was like, oh, you're restricted from going live for 7 days, and I'm like, you better stop it. I've been restricted from going live for months. What's what's another 7 days, you fucks? But
ooh.
I know, right? So that's why I keep having to try to get around it, and that's why we're pre-recording everything now. Otherwise, we'd be going live, and then we'd be having all the chats and everything like that. But
Okay, okay. So you're gonna you're recording it,
yeah,
and then you're
then I'm gonna
gonna.
upload it to YouTube, and then we'll see. Yeah, on my page, which I will tag you on there too, so that they will be able to just hit the tag and then go to your page to be able to see you on your YouTube.
On the YouTube. Okay,
Yes, on the
okay.
YouTube. Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that. Probably should have
Well,
explained that a little bit better.
yeah, no. It don't matter to me. I really, although ironically, I'm so ADD, WXYZ. I can't focus. I can't really focus on more than one thing at a time.
Yes.
It's just that I got so much love and respect for chat. That I didn't even open my chat, even though I don't get a chance to look at it. But sometimes when somebody else is the host, maybe I get to. Anyway, okay.
Yes. So next time we'll probably go live once I figure it out. Once I check and see if YouTube will let me go live, anyways. Because the last time I went tried to go was like 6 months ago. I tried to go live and it was like your page is restricted, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
anyways,
it's too many hoops to jump through, but that's
it
okay.
is a lot of hoops to jump through when to me it feels very hypocritical because you got worse shit on there, dude. On YouTube, on all these platforms, you got people getting killed, you got sex and drugs, you got all these guns and everything. That's perfectly fine, but how dare you talk about cannabis? Like, this is fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid because this plant is something that could actually bring us together, but they don't want that because some government, some states, some government, some other people are just hating on it, and I can't do it, so now I'm gonna fuck it up for you, is what happens. And
Yeah.
it's very, very stupid. But anyways, I was gonna ask you, what type of lights do you have on your indoor?
I've been using, excuse me, I've been using LED lights ever since the days of the blurples.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, probably at least oh over 15 years. Yeah, yeah,
Really? Ah,
yeah.
yeah. So when they first came out, you were the first one on it. So did you like the HPSs or the CFLs or any of the big hydrant lights?
I did I did, but I've always liked to be on the edge of the new technology, and so that's
Okay.
what attracted me. But unfortunately, I went in like I got in too early, too early on the LEDs because those blurples. I mean, they were great for veg,
Oh
great for
yes,
veg,
yes.
and they didn't produce the heat. But other than that, they were just a waste of time. And you know what? They weren't any cheaper than they are today. They weren't any cheaper. Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
they were loud too. They had that loud ass fan on them, and just like
Yo, the fans and oh
fans,
Jesus.
and then when they came out with the little switches that you could hit like fucking red or purple or whatever the fuck you could do, just red or just purple by itself. That was just like, and they would just charge more money for that little feature.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh man, the
yeah,
purples. Uh,
yeah. So I've got um yeah, I have 100 watt um well, I'm not being sponsored. I don't have to remember their fucking name. And
yeah.
I got a 350 watt from HLG, and I've got a 400 watt from I've got from AC Infinity. So I spread
Okay.
it around. Okay, I spread
Okay.
it around.
So you
But
show the love to everybody.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, the future of LED is I just absolutely mind-boggling where it's going. We haven't seen we haven't seen, like, when it comes to lighting, or when it comes to electricity, from what I've been led to believe, like a watt is a watt is a watt, and you can't perform any magic to turn a watt into anything other than a watt.
Yeah.
Either it's going to be in heat, or it's going to be in energy, or something. Like, I don't claim to understand all this shit, but there's other, like a 650 watt LED light is the equivalent to 1,000 watt light.
Yeah.
Um, so it only takes 650 watts to produce that amount of energy, but you don't have the heat or something like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, and now they're really dialing in that spectrum, and and it's just going to be more and more fine tuned.
Yeah, the
Very cool.
pars and all of the par settings, and then
In-
yeah, one thing,
Indeed.
because I always thought that when they were talking about that, that it was like the equivalent to like a 1,000 watt HPS would do, like this 100 watt light would do the equivalent to 1,000 watt HPS, which
Yeah.
it's not, because that was like 1,000 watt HPS gives off a lot of energy, man, and you would get fat nugs off of those fucking plants too. But I mean those lights. But if you go for a 1,000 watt equivalent, which is just 100 watts, it's not, you're not going to get the same result. But you can
Yeah.
get some good results. It is better than the burples, though. Don't get us wrong. It's better than burples,
Mm-mm-mm.
because those fucking burples, man, that shit was just a waste of fucking time. So, what kind of tents do you have?
Yeah, I just have a one tent. I just have the
Okay.
one. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to. It's called an opulent. It's a 5x5.
Okay.
Uh, the one thing I really like about it is it opens on three sides. Now, I don't know if all tents do that, but
The front and then the two on the side.
yeah, there's so one, yeah, all the
Yeah, yeah.
three sides.
They
They
they started doing that now that people wanted, like, once they realized that people are trellising and you needed to get in on the other side, be able to fucking get in like that. That's when they started putting that feature in. But as a matter of fact, I have a 5x5 AC Infinity and a 5x5 Vivo Sun, and I don't think they have that on there. No, the Vivo Sun does. I think it does. Huh. I don't know.
okay. I'm sorry. Sly has the what?
Oh, it has the side doors.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so now, yeah, so I got this 5x5, and what I've done, right or wrong, well, I think it's right. I've created a plywood base for it, and then I've elevated it, and I put it
Okay.
on milk cartons.
Oh.
So what that means, like for me, what it means is I don't have to bend over as much, as far, when I'm working. I don't have to bend
Yeah.
over as far. Matter of fact, I've got like a mechanic's stool on wheels, and I can just wheel,
Oh, creeper.
yeah, yeah, and I can just reach over, and it's really not. And so what else I've done in this tent is uh, I built a frame, because when you get that negative pressure in the tent, it pulls all the walls in. So I've
Oh
got this
yeah.
frame. Yeah, I got this frame. It's up about 3 feet, and it kind of goes around, and then so that holds the walls out a little bit more.
Oh, nice. So, what, for those who don't know, that does happen sometimes. You will get a negative pressure, and so it's sucking in more than it is blowing out. So, what you need to do is well, I just adjust my fans a little bit more, and then keeps it at that optimal position to where it's not sucking in, it's not blowing out too much like that. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's one of those things that you end up finding out with tents, man. And so you
Yeah.
said that you do outdoors. How many? What are you planting outdoors? Like, what strains do you have? Are they really big? What kind of pots do you have them in?
So this year, like I've always, I love growing outdoors. There's just something magical about it.
It's
So this
natural,
year,
right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. So this year, everything. I'm really behind the gun this year, but it was about a month ago, or maybe no, it could have been a month ago. I had some plants that I wanted to put outdoors. So I started them indoors. I started them, and so they were maybe 4 to 6 inches clones when I put them outdoors, and they were a blueberry muffin strain, made well. This guy has been. They originally came, of course, from Humboldt seeds,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
but he's been playing around with them, looking for strains that are early finishers. But he lives in Canada as well. Shout out to Agnes Beckett, and so he provided me with the genetics, and the thing that really appealed to me about that was that they're early finishers. I got two different phenotypes. One's finishes about the first week in September, and the other one maybe around the third week in September. So yeah, so I've got those all in a bed. I've got those in a bed,
Okay.
and yeah, then I just got another bed that I. It was only about 4 days ago that I got, and they're all my CBDs. Uh, so I've got those. I just put them out about 4 or 5 days ago. They weren't that big. They were again only between 8 and 12 inches, but I'm only growing them for the CBD value. So if I have to take them down before
Early, then it's fine,
before
right?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I've got some autoflowers that I'll be putting out within. Well, I got to get them out really quick too. My goodness,
You
it's
better hurry,
almost
Unc.
it's almost August, for goodness sakes. Yeah.
You're
So,
only gonna have 1 month of growing, of
I,
flowering.
but it's all fun. It's all
Yeah, it's
fun.
all fun
So,
and games. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, what are you doing with the CBD? Are you making bombs or anything like that?
Two things: cannabis oil (RSO)
Okay.
and salve or lotions. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
lotions. Okay, okay. Those really work. I really dig this one that we have over here in Tri Cities. At our local dispensary, we get this one called Dragon Ball. And this Dragon Bomb works so good, dude. Like, and it has a little bit of THC, but most CBD in it. And it works like a champ. You guys, if to the viewers out there, if you guys are dealing with any pain, make sure to get yourself some of this balm that Uncle Rick or like stuff like it, because it really does work, guys. It helps with
mhm,
on top of an ibuprofen or whatever. It really does get you take away a little bit of relief. And that's all
yeah,
we're looking for, especially when we've got real bad pain. A little bit of relief helps, so much. Um,
yeah, yeah, for
that's
sure.
nice. Yeah, you're gonna have to get
Mm.
those autos out there, Unc.
I know, I know. I popped them. I popped them, and they're all up like 2 or 3 inches.
Ready to
Uh,
go.
the weather's been crazy. We had so much rain earlier, which I thought, oh boy, I mean, great for the forest fires
Oh
situation,
yeah,
but and then it suddenly got really really hot, and I didn't I was worried. So going back to the blueberry muffins, I put them in, and they were maybe 8 to 10 inches tall. They're all well over 2 feet, and they're happy and praying, and yeah, I'm
nice.
very excited about that. Yeah.
Good. Hell yeah, man. That's gonna be nice. So my next question was, what is your optimal drying time after you harvest and you got it hang up? Do you hang it up in a tent? Do you hang it up in your bathroom? And how long do you do it?
Yeah, I got a separate room dedicated in my basement,
Okay.
and and quite honestly, I'll hang it up as long as possible. As long as, if you are in an optimal situation of
No.
60 degrees Fahrenheit and 60% relative humidity, that you can just about leave that in there indefinitely. So the longer the better. But there are so many circumstances that change. Like your personal lives and so on.
Oh
But
yeah.
like the optimal day, that 11th day ends up on a Monday. Well, yeah, well, I got a fucking podcast on Monday, or I've got life. I got life. So it's nice to know if you. So I have a heater and a circulating fan and a dehumidifier all in that room, and I use a Inkbird. Oh, I wanted to ask you something about.
Yeah.
But I use an Inkbird and a humidifier. So I've got everything in that room, and the Inkbird does it all the thinking for you. I set my dehu for 60%, and so on. It's very cool. Um, we were talking earlier. You said, actually, there's something else I wanted to ask you about. You said you have a AC Infinity tent.
Yeah.
Um, that AC Infinity tent, from what I've been led to believe, it has like a little bit of a flap over the zipper kind of thing,
Yes.
to help prevent like light leaks and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
now, but damn it, my question. Oh, well, maybe my question starts with: do you use their
A controller.
the yeah the 69
The AC feed.
controller?
Yes, I do. I do have that controller on there, and it's amazing. It runs the fans. It tells you the temperature in there, the humidity, the
The
HBD,
yeah,
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 it tells you the pressure. It tells you how
VPD. Yeah,
VPD. There you go. It has the
yeah,
VPD. It has yeah, it has a lot of cool stuff, man. It has alert
yeah,
systems. If it starts to get a little bit too hot, it'll alert you on your phone. You can turn up everything. You can basically do everything from outside the tent. And so when you have one of those AC Infinity tents and you have a watering system, man, it's basically automatic. You just got to sit there and just go and check on it every day. Just check. All right, everybody's good. Okay. And walk
yeah,
away. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
actually even
yeah.
has a little port where the AC Infinity controller fits in. So it fits right there up on the tent, and it's like blocked off, and it doesn't let any light out either, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Now I've got one of those as well, and I think they're really cool. But what a bit of a learning curve of learning how to set it all up and so on. But there's a couple of settings on there that, quite frankly, I think are redundant. They are the okay. It's beautiful because it's designed so that if the temperature gets too high,
Yes.
the fan goes on, or the exhaust fan goes on, or it's incredible. It's cool, and so you can control that.
Yeah.
But it also has a setting for if the temperature is too
Low.
low, that the fan goes on. Well, that's redundant.
All
Like
right. It
you can't
shouldn't do
have
that.
you can't have both. Like either
Yeah.
you won't. Yeah. So, but when I was learning how to set this whole thing up, I do recall it was in the wintertime, and I had that stupid thing set on for a lower setting, or for the fan to go on if it got too
Go
cold.
too low.
And
Okay.
yeah, and one night I think I left a window open or something, and the my house got really cold,
Oh,
and
really?
and not only, I mean, really cold, yeah. I mean, but like in my bedroom, I could hear the fan. I could hear the fan. It was going on full speed. I'm going, what is the problem? Like it's too cold for the fan to be going on. But that's when I finally realized that I had that stupid thing set up so that when it got to a certain cold temperature, the fan would go on. Well,
Yeah,
the
that doesn't
colder
really make any sense either because if it's colder and then the fan turns on, it's just going to make it colder in the tent. What the fuck? That doesn't make
Yeah, the
sense.
same thing with the humidity.
Huh.
You don't need those settings. But anyway, at my next R&D meeting at AC Infinity, I'll try to remember to bring that up.
Yeah, make sure to bring that up and mention
Yeah,
me too, because I'm trying to get sponsored by them.
exactly.
So, what's your favorite all-time strength that you have grown? So, I'm talking like if you can remember, since you've been in the game for so long. I'm sure you can.
Yep.
What is one of those that you were just like, man, I wish I had again, and you just want it back?
Yeah. 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 There's one that I distinctly remember, heads and shoulders above all the rest, and that was Master Kush.
Master Kush.
Yeah,
Okay.
not the MK Ultra. It was the Master Kush, and but at the time I was let me for a more polite way of putting it, I was in the commercial aspect
Oh,
of
okay.
the
Okay.
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 So growing it, I mean, whew, it was again one of those high sativa-ish, like just like really, really like. I mean, it was yeah, it was kind of a like it would put you back on the couch, but basically you kind of brace your arms and you hold on tight because you're on a ride,
You're going
and
for the ride.
yeah, it wasn't like one of those couch lock where I'm slowly going. No, 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 no. That's the kind it was, and it was. I just loved. That's my kind of high. The downside is it didn't produce, and
Really?
sadly, yeah. So I mean, yeah. So sadly, I was more money oriented at the time, and it went the way of the dodo bird. Now that was one that I grew, the Master Kush. Um, the Sumatran one, oh man, I wish I
Oh
grew that
yeah,
one. Wow,
yeah. And you didn't even get to
wow.
see if the Sumatra was a good, yielder or anything like that. It's too bad. So, what got you into starting the Let's Be Buds podcast?
um,
Oh yeah, we talked about it already. You wanted to give back to the community, right?
yeah, that primarily. It's funny though. I was thinking, okay, what I'd like to do is do something that nobody else is doing. Like, in one sense, why, like it's a good question. Like, why, like. There's a gazillion other fucking podcasts out there. Like, why did you want to do one? Well,
Yeah,
like I said, one, I wanted to give back. One, I wanted to, the community just absolutely fascinated me. And just getting together as a community, I just thought it was so cool and I wanted to be part of that. But there was one, I thought, okay, look, hey, I know what nobody has ever done. It's like those eagle cams, where there's a
oh
20, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought,
yeah,
okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a tent, and I'm going to set up a camera, and it's going to go 24 hours. Like so. You wake up at 2 in the morning, and oh god, what do I? Oh, maybe I'll just go watch Rick's tent. That should be exciting. Or maybe
yeah,
that'll put me back to fucking sleep.
yeah.
And so, anyways, that's what that was my vision. That was my game plan, and I'll never forget because I was still on the Caribou Show at this time. But I was on the Caribou Show, and I started my own show. So on the Caribou Show, so I had the tent set up, and I had I got a special camera. I got the camera set up, and we did the show, and about three-quarters of the way through the show, my battery ran dead on the thing, and I thought, wait a minute, how am I supposed to run this thing for 24 hours? I can't even get 2 hours, and my battery's dead. And I thought,
Yeah.
okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be doing that, am I?
Yeah, it's a good idea though.
Well, I didn't. That was my thought, and
You didn't think it all the way
sometimes,
through.
yeah, well,
So, what's your preferred way of smoking cannabis? Do you like
um,
joints or are you into dabs? Oh yeah, you're old school. The
yeah,
joints all the way. Me too,
yeah,
sir.
pretty.
My preferred way of smoking is joint, always, hands down. I don't even like smoking out of pipes anymore. I like bongs only because like bongs are, on those days where you really need to get fucked up really quick. Boom, a bong hit will work. But like pipes, I'm not even into it anymore. I'll smoke out of an apple. I dig apples. Um,
Ah, right on, right on.
Apples are delicious. They give that little
Here,
apple taste to it too. It's fucking great.
well, of course, of course. Yeah, yeah. Joints are my go-to. I've got a nice bong, but it gets dirty so fast, and then I get lazy, and then, but
Yeah, you
my,
gotta clean it.
but for my main form of consumption, is, I use it for sleeping. And
Okay.
also, it helps me a lot with my arthritis. There is one other thing I wanted to mention as well, from a topic earlier, so what I do is I take RSO. I've got a regime of RSO every night, and
Okay.
um, I was able to give up sleeping pills, for 20 years sleeping pills,
Really
because of that. Yeah,
good,
yeah.
man. Congratulations on that. Those sleepy pills get you addicted just the same as everything else, man. Like my wife was taking, well, like Benadryls. For some reason, Benadryls will knock your ass out, dude. And then you can get addicted to those because it gives you such a good sleep and shit.
Yeah,
So everybody be careful
yeah,
out there for that one. That one's a little
yeah.
crazy. What were you gonna say? What, if you can remember that topic?
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, darn it, it
Something
was
in there
something about
lost it.
CBD. It was
Oh,
something about
CBD.
CBD. We were talking earlier about CBD, and hopefully it'll come back. It'll come back.
Yeah, okay. What do you do for your prefer or like what do you do for IPM for your pest management?
Well, by the way, a sponsor of the show,
Hey,
Lost
here we
Coast
go.
Plant Therapy.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm
bow, bow, bow,
a big,
bow.
yeah, we're a big supporter of Lost Coast Plant Therapy. That stuff really works well.
So is
I'm really,
Lost Coast Plant Therapy?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, all
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, and yeah.
Fucking
Um,
beautiful. There it is. Concentrated eliminate powder and mildew, fungus gnats, white flies. Oh, there we go. Aphids and everything. Oh man. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, it's concentrated. I think it's primarily like essential oils. It's
Oh, okay.
concentrated. And we don't like to be spraying anything in our plants after, like, that second, third week in flower.
Yes.
It is safe to use. I mean, you still have to respect the fact that there's going to be some oils from the residuals on there, but it is safe to use up until the day of harvest.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of products that are coming out nowadays that are, that they're trying to make it safe to use up to flower because there are those times where once again the audience you would know if anybody knows if anybody's been watching my page they know that like you'd be in flower week 5 or 6 and you're almost ready to harvest and then you go into your tent and boom spider mites. Oh no. And you see them wrapping around the buds, and you're just like devastated, man. But you probably wouldn't have that problem if you would spray it during those weeks of flower. But on the same note, some people say not to do that right before harvest because you want the cleanest buds that you can get without any of the residual oils on there. Which personally, I don't think that those residual oils are that bad. I mean, like, come on, man, we smoked worse in our time.
Ah, are you
I
kidding
know
me? Are you
I know
kidding
I
me?
have.
Are you familiar with the GML is coming out with a light called the Predator Light? Are you familiar with that product?
I'm not. What's
Well,
this?
this is all about IPM as well.
Okay.
It emits a UV light, which you only have to. Well, there's been some incredible research done on it so far, but you only have to expose the mites or the infestation with this light for like maybe 5 minutes, and oh yeah, it's really incredible.
5
Um,
minutes and they die?
and it'll kill predator mites. It'll kill every type of just about every type of insect, thrips, fungus gnats, yeah,
aphids,
spider mites, aphid, yeah, yeah,
white
yeah,
flies, all that shit, huh? Fungus
yeah.
gnats is the thing that I have a biggest problem with. Fungus gnats is just all the time because I'm in soil and I don't have any cocoa or anything in my soil. So and the microbial like my mycelium network must be going off the hook because there's just fungus gnats, man. And sometimes I can get them under control, sometimes I don't. Like, do you have any problems with fungus gnats?
I've had the challenge, and the trouble is, especially with fungus gnats, it comes in with the cocoa. That's where, yeah, that's where they're
Really?
bringing the, yeah, the larva comes in with the cocoa. Yeah. But again, this Lost Coast plant therapy, as a soil drench, you can use it as a foliar spray, but also as a soil drench, and it will kill fungus gnats as well. Yeah.
Nice. Do you use it as a soil drench?
Yeah, if need be, yeah, if
If need
need
be.
be,
Huh.
and you know what? One of the best, well, I'll tell you, one of the biggest secrets about IPM is cleanliness.
Oh yeah.
Clean, clean, clean. You know, I can't say enough about just
Can't
keeping it
stress this
clean.
enough, guys. You got to keep your place clean. Even though I know we're all home growers and we have like personally me, I have a real bad habit of going outside and then going into my tent or like
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah,
just asking for problems there. It's not a good idea. Make sure to try because there's a reason why all these big facilities have you put on booties and the white suits and all this before you go into their facility. And it's straight up because you could bring pests and disease so easily. And I have cats, and the cats could bring them in. Like it's crazy, man. There's so many different ways for your
yeah,
plants to get infected. Insane. So cleanliness, everybody. Cleanliness. Do you
yeah.
have any crazy bug stories? Like have you had any infestations that you've just like been like, yo?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, well, those are the stories I really honestly want to forget. I really want to forget.
No, you're totally right about that. But I like to bring it up because I know that there are people out there that have to deal with it, and it gave me a real big a boost. I didn't feel as bad when I heard that okay, other people deal with this. You know what I mean? When they're like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, it happens. Well, all right. So the first time I got spider mites, somebody sent me a message that was like, well, you're not a real grower until you've had spider mites, and I was like, oh, all right, okay. Now I'm a real grower. It made me feel a
Yeah,
little bit better.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, we can
yeah.
move on if you're not feeling that question. Um,
I and
there's one thing I wanted to ask you. Have you ever had HLVD, the hop latent lip viroid disease? Have you ever?
no, I haven't. Touch
Okay.
wood, but I know a personal friend that he got it, and um, oh, close to 2 years ago. And well, the last I heard, we're not really that close, but last I heard, he was considering shutting everything down because he just couldn't get rid of it. Could
Yeah.
not. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what this happened to me? I got it. I don't know how I got it. It started with some plants from my last grow, right? And so I killed off those two plants, and I moved the plants that were with those two into flower, and those are the ones that you're seeing right now. The purple pillbox and the runts are ones that were in the same tent as the other ones that got the HLVD, right? But they came out good. They haven't had any problems. They're looking beautiful. Nothing's wrong with them. Now I go back into my veg tent today, actually, as a matter of fact, and I go looking in, and sure enough, guess what I find? HLVD on all my veg plants. Not all of them, but most of them. Um, and so I think I'm gonna have to cut them down. It's very, very disappointing,
So
but I gotta do what I gotta do.
how can you tell? Like, what are the
Uh,
signs?
the symptoms are the plant starts. So at first, if you catch it later, you'll be able to see how the plants are growing. They'll grow real big fan leaves like normal, right? And they'll start growing up in the way that they're supposed to, right? And then all of a sudden, they'll start growing. to the side, which you think is from a topping, right? You're like, okay, I topped that plant. That's why it's starting to push out like that, right? Well, then all of a sudden the leaves start to get real small and everything starts to shrink and it just starts to die off and you're not getting any growth anymore. And it just looks so like you could tell there's something wrong with the plant because the leaves were big at one point and they were big, healthy fan leaves. And then they just started shrinking. So now I got all these little bud sites that are just like they look like they're all starting to die off. It's so fucking weird, man. But every time that I whip it out, people are like, oh, yeah, HLVD, man. That's what you got. And like, I'm like, okay, where's it from? Some people say I had, Sync Angel, which is the IPM specialist on Instagram. I had him on CannaConvos, and we were recording an episode, and we didn't get to record his audio, which like it fucking bugged the shit out of me because it was such a good show where he broke down the HLVD, and he said that it can come from either your scissors being dirty, your dirty, which you said cleanliness, and you're absolutely right about that. And it can also come through some genetics. And I was like, what? Because that's what I was like, well, it started from one genetic, like this one plant that I started growing. That's how I got it. Like, I think I got it like that at least. But it could also have been from not cleaning the scissors because I didn't clean those scissors for a while.
Okay, so to my understanding, okay, that's where originally you get it from, is from the genetics.
I
Okay,
think.
yeah. Now you spread it with dirty scissors.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So you get it from the genetics and spread it with the scissors.
Yes. I think I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. Now the scissors and spreading, yes, I know that for sure. As of the genetics, pretty sure I got it from those genetics, man. I don't
Now
really
I
want to say like, I don't want to put it on those genetics and say they were bad genetics because he probably didn't know that it was there. He's probably dealing with the problem too. So, it's just
so did
something.
you get was it a clone or a seed that you grew
Seed.
from?
From
Yeah, and
seed.
that's what I've been told, is that it can even be within. Now I may be wrong there, but I thought I was under the
Now
impression
I've
it could
been
even
told
be
that same
within.
thing too. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think it might have been from the seed. It was not from a clone. But now the other plants that have contracted it, they are from clones. And you know what? I just realized I didn't clean my scissors when I was trimming them. Wow. Yeah, I could have just passed it along. Son of a bitch. Well, they
But
say
yeah,
if.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, but what they say is that you actually, it's not just a question of cleaning your scissors. It's like you clean your scissors, you work on that plant, then you clean their scissors before you go to the next fucking plant. So
Yes.
like between plants, you got to clean your scissors. Yeah.
Yes. So everybody out there, make sure that that's what you do, man. Clean your scissors, keep them nice so that you don't catch HLVD. All right, this is hop latent viroid disease. Make sure to look it up if you don't know what that is, and it's a bitch, but it happens. What are your thoughts on the rescheduling of cannabis? I know this is a weird question right here.
Yeah, and I I like to look at life positively.
Good.
And I know that, and because government has fucked us around so badly with cannabis, should we start trusting them now? I don't think so. And I'm thinking that that's where a lot of the negativity about this proposed scheduling comes from. I simply look at it as okay. We were Schedule One in there with heroin and other uh,
Products.
non-medicinal value commodity, and now they're considering moving to Schedule Three. Uh, the at least it's considered it would be considered medicinal. The fear is that big pharma is going to take over. Uh, Quite frankly, I can't see that happening. If big pharma can't produce it in a fucking lab under strict measures, they're not interested. I mean, and they will. Eventually, they'll produce
They'll
it.
try.
They've produced Marinol before, but you know what? All the fucking power to the. There's room for everybody. Okay, we all got to chill out. So
Yes, I
Schedule
think that same
Three,
way.
yeah, Schedule Three, in my humble opinion, is a step, and maybe it's not where we want it to be, but it's a step in the right direction. So that's how I feel about that.
That's how I feel too. I feel like we need to straight up take the little wins that we can, because the government works very fucking slow, man. And so it's been, even what, it's been 80 years. I don't even know how many years of this war on cannabis. And now that we're taking little strides to start to take this, to just end this war, dude, because it's gonna like stop as soon as they federally legal, which a bunch of people are saying, oh no, because then the banks are gonna get in, which is gonna give more people more, more money equals more evilness, which is true. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's true, but we do need these little steps, man, these little wins, man. I say we got to embrace it a little bit. Just be like, hey, at least they're not going to be kicking down doors and taking families away, breaking up families over fucking weed anymore, man. A little bit of weed. Like, I'm sure if you were slaying tons and tons of weed, then yes, they're going to come after you. But if you're just growing some fucking plants for your medicinal self, so that you can smoke and learn how to grow and whoopity whoop, you're not going to have to worry about getting your whole life destroyed over this. At least I hope
Yeah,
not. Shit.
yeah.
And the rescheduling is a step in that direction. What do you think is the future of the cannabis industry? Period. Like, do you think we're gonna be able to just go into the stores and start buying weed? Do you think because I want it to be like alcohol? Okay, alcohol has killed a lot of people and it keeps just destroying lives, but it is totally accepted and you can get it anywhere. You can get it cheap. You can, because I was an alcoholic for 16 years, so I know about how
Mm.
easy it is to get alcohol. Now I want it that easy to get weed. That's what I feel like. How do you feel?
Yeah, 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 100%. And uh, sometimes like when I, again, going back to, like, I'd like to look at it from a positive aspect, and I would like to look at it as there's room there for everybody. So if I'm to, look into my crystal ball, I would like to see that there's that a grower can, like a home grower, can grow as many plants. Like, I don't want such a thing as a plant count. Do you need a
Right.
plant count to grow fucking tomatoes? Like, give me a break. Um,
Yeah, you're
so,
right.
I'd like to see that. I would like to see, for the benefit of people that aren't interested in growing, but if they are, especially for medicinal purposes, if they could find a designated grower to grow for them, I would like to see that. I would like to see a market where people that don't have an interest in growing, and they are not using it medicinally, um, but they want to enjoy it recreationally, that they can buy it from a craft grower at a reasonable price, especially if it's in the form of like a flea market, or like
Oh
a
yeah.
weekend farmers market kind of thing. I would like to see a market where big pharma, and I'm sorry, big ag is going to supply the needs and wants of the grower, or of the smoker, that they don't give a fuck. They just want to get high, and they want to,
Yeah.
and they want to do it cheaply. And
Yes.
and I want to see a market for them. I want to see a market for big pharma. I want to see big pharma be able to go into their laboratories and say, okay, these are the fucking terpenes that we have to deal with. And these are the cannabinoids. Now, we can extract through chemistry, we can extract this from here, and this is what's going to heal cancer. And we can take this from over here, and we can put it in a fucking pill, and we can give this to people, and it's going to fucking it's going to cure cancer.
Cure cancer.
That's what I want to see. And there's room for all of us. There's room for all of us. It's
There
a
is, sir.
wonderful, wonderful medicine, and I think the more we can get it into people's hands, the better.
Yes, I feel you on that. That's absolutely perfect the way that you put that. Last question I got here for you. What advice do you have for new growers?
Mm,
Would you
um,
advise them
mm,
to,
yeah. I
find what they
my
are?
advice, yeah, my advice is just do it. Just do it. If you've been thinking about it, just do it. And oh Jesus, I saw a meme today. It was somebody. Uh, this is somebody who grows auto flowers, and basically it was a guy. Uh, well, he had a pussy. Okay, I'll just say he had a pussy.
It's all right.
Uh,
It's okay.
and I thought, yeah, but you know what? Especially for people that don't have the that maybe are afraid or concerned. Hey, all you need is a little bit of dirt and a seed and a windowsill. You don't need any to grow autoflowers. Yeah, maybe
Oh,
they'll just be stunted, but who knows? Maybe they'll get the bug. Maybe you'll give them that seed, and they'll go, "Oh my God, I just created life.
yes.
I just created my own medicine," and it may spark your
Your
desire
interest.
to grow more. Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So
I know
so
that's
just do it.
just do it, right? That's what happened to me. I had a plant and I put it in the windowsill and we got just one little bud, just
Mm,
the smallest little bud on it. And we smoked that shit. Didn't know what the fuck we were doing, how to dry it or anything. Just let it dry out like sitting out and we smoked it and it felt
mm,
so just rewarding. Even I barely even got high, but it felt rewarded because I grew a nug. And that was
yep.
like, oh, like that's it. It was over. I went and got another plant, and then I got a tent,
Mm.
and it was over. I'd been growing ever since. So,
Yeah, yeah. And growing is not for everybody. I know Spartan was just saying he was just from came back from Germany, and everybody's got they just legalized there recreationally, and everybody's got the bug. And I thought the same thing was going to happen when they did that in Canada. As a matter of fact, I thought, okay, this is my opportunity. Well, not my opportunity. I was getting, I'm retired. I'm not looking to create any more businesses, but I thought, hey, a consultant going around to set people up. I mean,
yeah,
the whole country is legally can grow 4 plants per household. Everybody's going to do it. Well, I don't know how to break it to you, but not everybody is interested in doing it. Okay, so
oh my
so
heart.
yeah, I know. Yeah, really, exactly. I tell you, I was so fucking excited. I had business cards fucking printed for this. Look at there. There's the name.
Oh,
Let's
let's be
be.
buds. Wow,
Oh,
that's where it came
okay.
from.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was I was going to set up a consulting business, and where was I going with that? But
That everybody
uh,
didn't want to grow.
Yeah, yeah. So but they still may want to smoke. So I still don't know where I'm going with that. It's just that no, not everybody is into growing.
Yeah,
So
and it
so
devastated you. You're like, oh man, shit. Thought everybody was gonna want that shit. Damn. What do you mean you don't want to waste all, or you don't want to spend all your time growing weed? What? What do you
yeah,
mean you don't want the plants to die on you and then break your heart?
obviously they don't get it. They don't get
Yeah, they don't get it.
it.
All right. Well,
That's a
thank you,
shame.
sir. This is the 1 hour mark, 1 hour and 13 minutes. But it's
Hmm.
yeah, this will conclude all the questions that I had for the CannaConvos. I want to thank you so much for coming on there, buddy. You have killed it. You're a great inspiration, and I know that we all want to get to your status one of these days. For the viewers, you guys make sure to go check out Uncle Rick on Instagram and YouTube. I'll be tagging his page here so that you could just hit a button, go right to his page. All right. Um,
Thanks for having me, Sly. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. Is there any sponsors that you wanted to plug or anything else that you wanted to say?
No, thank you again for having me. Okay, coming up, August the 17th, over at Let's Be Buds, we've got the 60 and 60 promotion. Should be a shitload of fun. Uh, November the 16th, we are holding our third annual Chatathon fundraiser for the Last Prisoner Project. Other than that, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Let's Be Buds. We do an hour interview and an hour of shits and giggles, and please join us.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, sir, for coming on, and we will have you on for part 2 one of these days, huh?
Thanks so much,
All right,
Sly.
sir. I'm going to end this real quick.